Hello walkers, and welcome back to City Walks. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide. We are exploring a really cool city, although a little bit late in the evening. Actually, it's only early afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock, 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 7 degrees Celsius, last day of November. And we are in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And it is a beautiful city, and we're going to end up at the falls, but we're going to start out downtown. And they're decorated up for Christmas, and people are out hustling, bustling. It's a Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock. So I just wanted to show you the sound down. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. That helps me a lot. I love getting your comments. And if you like the video, please like the video. Click the like button. This is the United States Courthouse here, obviously an old building. We're going to start out downtown. We're going to make our way down to the actual falls of Sioux Falls. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Always want to give you guys a shout out because your support is very much appreciated and very helpful too. I think we're up to 10 supporters or something like that. Anyway, on a road trip like this, it's a lot of fun. We actually have been through here before, my family and I have anyway, as I try to get the camera focused on the right place. And so I know a little bit about it, and I've been here, know just a little corner of it, but not this corner. Ooh, look at all the deer they have out here. That's cool. And a menorah. Like I said, they're all decorated for Christmas. Now, although I've been here before, what we do on this channel is sort of wend our way around and just kind of explore as we go. I do a little research beforehand, but not a lot. I think that the exploration is part of the fun. It certainly is for me. Like, this public artwork that I'm seeing is awesome, very cool. When we were here before, I like that cougar over there too. We didn't have a lot of time. We just were down by the river, which is cool, and we'll make our way down there. But I want to give you a little bit about what I have learned, helped by my oldest son, who is my assistant on this journey we're making to the East Coast, which I'll tell you a little bit more about in a little bit. This is the largest city in South Dakota, and the metropolitan area actually represents about a third of the entire population. The metro area is 250,000, and the city itself is, as of 2020 census, I think 192,000. Now, it's a pretty big city in this part of the world, the biggest in the Dakotas. We are super close. We're on the far eastern side of the state, so we're pretty close to Iowa and Minnesota. And this looks like a museum in a really kind of cool way. Wells Fargo Cinedome, and the Washington Pavilion. Huh. I don't know what that is. As we kind of look up here, I'm going to give you a view up here, but I'm going to actually go to the right. A little bit about the history of the town, and we'll sort of just loop our way back and forth. Obviously, Native peoples have been here for centuries. First Europeans came in the early 1800s, started a town in 1850s. They had a little fort here called Fort Sod. It's basically made out of dirt. And then it was abandoned in the 1860s due to the Dakota War. And then they came back in about 1865, I think. Incorporated as a city in the 1880s. The original point of the original town was hydropower and just scenery. The falls are really pretty cool. Yeah, so that's kind of the story on Sioux Falls. Although I can tell you a little bit about the industry. Originally it grew as a sorry, I'm trying to look at my settings on this phone. I'm on the Osmo. As an agricultural center, as you might have guessed, this really is a beautiful building here. I wish I knew a little bit more about it. The Washington Pavilion. They created a massive meat packing plant here in 1902, the Morrell Meat Company, which is still here and I think owned by Smithfield Meats, which I think is out of Smithfield, Virginia. And now it is a financial and retail center, as well as I think Citibank's based here or something, or has a big office. But what I think is interesting is, among many, many things, the fact that there's a giant Mackenzie River Pizza Company store here, which of course started in Bozeman. And that's way bigger than any Mackenzie River I've ever seen, which is pretty cool to think about. Kudos to them. I was going to tell you a little bit more about our trip east. So it's a combo trip. We're going to meet up with some family back in South Carolina and visit there. And I figured I would drive and take my oldest son, because he's super into high pointing. I'd film for you guys, and then we'd take him to some high points. Unfortunately, my calculations when I was trying to plan out all this stuff didn't account for, one, short winter days. I did account a little bit for that, but the fact that we're driving east means the days are actually even shorter. You know, it rises later in the west and sets earlier in the east, and that's kind of the direction we're going. Excuse me. So I was hoping to film Pierre, the capital of South Dakota, but I was going to burn another hour or so, and as it is, we're trying to get to Hawkeye Point this evening to have a high point of Iowa, a state high point. Oh, I am going to go back up here. And as it is now, I think we're going to get there after dark. So hopefully we can get up there and it's still open. You can drive up to it. But hopefully it will be satisfactory for my son. He's being a good sport about it, helping me navigate. Look at the State Theater. I love those big lights. I know they're not great for birds and stuff, but they are fun to see. And then kind of want to go across to the moose. I'm going to. I saw a similar one of these in, I think, Rapid City. Maybe that one? No, maybe it was Sturgis. I love this. The fluidity of it. Maximus Moose by Travis Sorensen, same artist, I think. I have to go back and look. Lots of stuff going on down here. There's shops, there's restaurants and bars and galleries, and you know, it's a Sunday afternoon, but it's still hopping, which is a little surprising. But I guess in a city of 200,000, I'm going to cross over here, it's not that surprising. We got a glimpse of my navigator in the blue jacket just a minute ago. This is a toy store here, we saw. And then giant feather. It's a little bit of a breeze, which makes it just a little bit chilly. gotta check my a map here to make sure I can find my way to where I want to go. Love these old buildings, and I like this one particularly because it's got that overhang. Just looks classic. Of course, we've got some music in a public space like this. It's just inevitable, but it also means I have to kind of talk over it. It's raising a ruckus, some bears there. It's pretty. I'm trying to light this outdoor burner. I'm clicking away. It's not quite firing off. Not sure what this is. This is Reliabank. Oh no, this is Endeavor. That's pretty cool. So this is pretty colorful here too. Got a coffee shop across the way. I guess a lot of stuff's probably closed today. But still, my son's out looking for a place to hang out for a little while I film. Pardon my sniffles. I think what I'm gonna do is, there's some more of that, but it kind of slows down. So we're gonna go up this way and see what's up here. This is 10th, and I forget the name of that street that we were on. It was Phillips Avenue. I'm not doing a great job of calling those out. Pardon my sniffles. Reminds me of maybe a bigger Fargo here, Rough Cut Social Club. Looks like they might have some axe throwing. Whoever thought of axe throwing and beer, was a brave individual, but slightly brilliant. It's kind of fun. It's like oversized darts. Pretty tricky to get the axe to stick, or it can be. What is this? This is Main Avenue. You can see some buildings down that way. Now, obviously, with just one walk, I can only film so much. In retrospect, I probably should have spent the night here. Instead, we're going to go down to Sioux City. We're hoping to collect a bunch of high points later in the trip. We've already done North Dakota. That was kind of fun. It's like a half-mile walk up a small hill. You can get up real close. It's actually on private land, but they have granted access very generously. I like this too, this giant painting of this fish on the storm drain. Oh, I thought we'd gone down further. That's all right. This is pretty. A psychedelic ruin. Oh, I know why I did this, because I'm going to go down 11th, which is what we're on, and go over to the greenway. Hey, pup. Little dog sticking his face out. I have to put on my gloves here. Mamaladas, enchiladas. Looks like a fun place. I like these little nook eateries. Get my gloves on here. I believe the temperature is dropping as the sun goes down. We're in the central time zone here. That doesn't help either. So we're even an hour later. I mean, it doesn't really affect. Yeah, I guess it does, but kind of lose an hour. Back on Phillips. We're going to go, hopefully drop over onto this river. The Big Sioux River is what comes through here. S-I-U-X. I saw the sign up here that says park, and I thought, oh, there's the park. But really, they're saying parking. I've commented a lot on this, but I really enjoy when cities put out this public art, these sculptures. It just adds an extra little bit of beauty, I guess, you know? A little something to stimulate the mind. Coming up on First. Gonna figure out how to get down to the river here. Hopefully up here on 3rd. There's a couple hotels along the river too. That's where we stayed when we were here last time. Got up in the morning and walked around in the park before heading west. It was back in 2018. I didn't think to do a city walk back then. Or maybe I didn't have time. All right, this is 3rd. We are going to guess we'll cross over here in a minute. That is Fawick Park. There's a bronze copy or facsimile of the David, which I have been lucky enough to see in Florence in 2016. and it's in the Academia, I think. And it's one of those things where you come around a corner and it kind of hits you, and it's like, oh, that's why it's famous. And here is the Sioux River. Hopefully there's a walking path on both sides. Plenty of goose droppings in here. There is not a walkway on both sides. Well, that's part of the discovery. We'll drop down up here. We'll go over and drop down on the other side or cross the bridge or something. To fix an audio clicking being caused by my jacket. This is 10th and 2nd. I see a pedestrian bridge up the way, which is good. And we'll get a little view of the river here as it goes through the just right of the center of town, just east of the center of town. We're here at Rotary Plaza. If that helps. I think that's what that little parklet was called. Got some waterfowl down in here. The light really is kind of nice here. There's the Hilton Garden Inn, and then there's the Holiday Inn across the way. And we shouldn't be too far from the actual falls here. Another 15 minutes maybe? We'll see, what are we at? We're at right at 24 minutes. We'll test my my estimation skills. And off to the left in that light, catching the light so nicely, is the hotel on Phillips. Looks pretty elegant, I would guess. Looks like an old railroad crossing. It turned into a footbridge. I like this. I like this town, man. It's really pretty cool. I can see why people would want to come here. I'm sure when they discovered gold in the 1860s, maybe 70s. This was probably a major thoroughfare. So you can remember. I'm wondering if I should stay up high. No. I'm gonna go down. It's really a pretty greenway. Very pleasant down here. All right. It's a pretty cool arch. Right over the Big Sioux. Just saw a sign for the Mill Dam tragedy. I'm not sure what that actually refers to, so if you know, please hit me up in the comments. You can see kind of the rock that borders this, or is the bed of this river in here, and it will eventually lead to the falls. Looks almost artificial there. Oh, there's a little, over by the rocks, the far side of those ducks is a little muskrat. Cute little guy. These ducks think they're going to get fed, but they are not. Pretty cool arch lit from below. Another pedestrian bridge. They're feeding ducks over there. Guess they are going to get fed. It's like an amphitheater down there maybe. And I know there is a park over there. If I had time, I would, for instance, if I had spent the night here, could have done another completely second city walk here, a walk of some sort. We've got some interpretive signs down here as well. Look at this. So, imagine that kind of flooding. Even have some, I think this is ice in here. It's getting pretty chilly. Probably got pretty cold last night. And this calm water freezes up. Coming up on 6th Street. So what we'll do is we'll go down here. I can see the tower from here. And we'll cross back over to the other side. There's a lovely little park on both sides, actually. Put my glove back on. See the geese out there walking on the ice. We drove around on the far side, and Andrews cracked that there's the highest mountains in South Dakota over there, despite the Black Hills that we drove through yesterday. Some dirt piles. You can see some flooding has pushed wood up into onto some rocks down there and against the pilings of a railroad bridge. Got a little railroad crossing here, a little bike maintenance station on the left. Those are always handy. There's some trains down there. Hi there. All right, now we're entering Falls Park. You can see the Smithfield logo down along the train tracks there. That's where the Morel Meat Company factory is, or meat processing plant, I guess. Same. I believe they had dammed this for hydropower at some point, and maybe that was the mill dam catastrophe or whatever it was. Also know there's a tower coming up here on the left, and we were here before. There's a gift shop in there, and then you can go up into the tower and get a nice view of the falls and the river and the city. Last time we were here, we actually didn't even go downtown. We didn't have time. In fact, I think the falls are just off to the left. You can kind of see a little platform that if we had more time, I would go up and give an aerial view or an elevated view. But I kind of want to go down here. Pretty sure there's a way to get across. Maybe we will go over there. So there's all these lights up here, and we are seeing on the way in, you can set your, they're holiday lights, and you can set your radio, car radio, to a certain station, and they'll blink along with the music. Or rather, you're listening to the music as they blink. They're synced. And here we're coming up to the falls. You can see the upper part here. This is the remnants of the mill or the power plant. I'll have to try and find a link to share. Here's some more of the upper part off to the left. Somebody left a glove here. It's really pretty, especially this time of night. I bet it's nice in the morning too. We're gonna make our way around to the other side. That wasn't too far off. 13 minutes. Queen Bee Mill. Is that for a view? The rock is sort of smooth but sort of jagged. It doesn't look real. All right, we're going to go across on the footbridge. And there's actually some more falls right through there. It sort of channels down, gets narrow. You'll see those from the footbridge. This is a Falls Overlook Cafe. Pan over here. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up, and I appreciate you guys joining me here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Beautiful park, beautiful downtown. If you're coming through here, definitely make it a stop if you can. Lots of great things to do with the kids, with the family, especially if you're on a cross-country road trip. We will be hiking again soon, walking again soon, exploring again soon, treadmill traveling again soon. Until then, you guys take care and keep on stepping.